Tamir, what a customer should be aware of before getting scalp pigmentation?
Well, a customer needs to make sure that he's going to a legit place, a place that the owner or the artist have actual diploma, that he learned that procedure before. Didn't pick it up from the street. Got to make sure that this guy have picture before and after of his own client. It'll be helpful if he'll be in the photos, so you will see that he actually did those work. And if the artist would be willing to show him a live demonstration of a client that he's going to do, it's going to be a lot helpful by you seeing it in real life and see the result after. Like we say, picture worth a million word, and especially if you're going to see it live. And we love to show our work when we get it done because we're proud of our work, and it's great for the client. The client make a decision immediately when they see the work done, and he can see it on someone else in order for him to trust the artist doing it on his head. Because scalp pigmentation is basically a tattoo on your head, and you do want it right. You don't want any mistakes. So I recommend a client to investigate really good before he gets this procedure done.
How can a customer know the difference between a good artist and a bad artist?
The first thing you have to find out if the artist basically have diplomas and work that he did in the past. And an artist basically is a good sculptor. And if an artist cannot draw Mickey Mouse on a piece of paper, I would assume he will do a Mickey Mouse work on your head. So in order for you to find out if the artist is really good, before you get the whole head, the entire head done, I would ask the artist to do a little patch in the back of your head, take a close-up picture with your phone or your iPhone, and ask the artist to actually show you that little patch that he did before you do the whole work done, and then you'll be sorry, and then you're going to have to laser the whole thing. That would be a lot more costly than actually getting the scalp pigmentation done. So I would recommend to every client that getting this done just to do a small patch of test in the back of the head, not in front of the head, so it won't be like a sore eye. And look at that photo, magnify the photo, make sure the color, the density, the way the hair flow will be exactly like your natural leave-in hair. If it's not, then the last thing you want is to get the whole done wrong. And trust me, you don't have to be an artist to know the difference between right and wrong.
Can you draw a Mickey Mouse?
Well, a Mickey Mouse, I'm not a really fan of drawing cartoon character, but I do actually drew myself, so let me show you a photo of myself. I can draw people's faces, and having a background of being an artist actually helped me producing scalp pigmentation. Not everybody could do scalp pigmentation if they don't have a background of an artist, because we don't have any stencil here. Everything that we do is basically freehands. So when you have to draw something freehand on someone's head, it's better being correct, you know. You can't have a shaky hand. They have to be steady and make it look like they're actually growing hair. And that's a talent.
Tamir, I heard that you need different tools for scalp pigmentation and regular tattoo. What are the differences between those tools?
Well, today we're going to demonstrate the tools that you don't want your tattoo artist to work with. And even if the tattoo artist done amazing work with tattoo arts, and he's using the wrong tools, the wrong needle, the wrong ink, the wrong machine, then he's going to damage your head. Regular tattoo machine are very aggressive. They are made for big work. Scalp pigmentation machine are really delicate machine, thinner needle. So we're going to demonstrate today the tools that you don't want your artist to work with. the tools in scalp pigmentation are very important to be the right tools. So let's go into the demonstration right now and show you the tools that you don't want your artist to work on. Well, this is a roller needle. Basically, if you can look at it really closely, you can see it's a roller. I have a lot of needles around it, and it rolls like that. This is a roller needle that you have to avoid of having done your scalp pigmentation with, because this machine was created to shorten the procedure from 7 to 8 hours into 45 minutes. The problem with this, when you go back and forth with this needle all around the scalp, and I'm going to demonstrate it later, what it will create a shoe polish look on your head. It might look good the first day, but when it heals, it's going to be a very messy work, and that's for people who want to shortcut this scalp pigmentation and make money fast. Avoid those artists. As you can see, this needle is pretty aggressive looking, and it's been used by tattoo artists to do regular tattoo. I would definitely avoid this needle to be done on my scalp. You cannot create a very delicate work on your head. It will create like target spot. It goes too deep in the skin. The color will spread. It will look very bad. And if you can look around, you can see that needle is pretty aggressive, and the artist cannot control this needle when it starts working. The machine to put this needle are pretty aggressive. We're gonna demonstrate the work with this needle too. As this needle that you see right here is a needle that's been used by a permanent makeup tattoo artist, that they do the eyebrows, they do eyelids, and that needle, as you can see, have plenty of needle right there. That those needle will not create single hair because too many needles. What it would do, it would create a thick lines in your head. It's good for eyebrows, but it's really not good for scalp pigmentation. So I would definitely avoid needle that permanent makeup tattoo artists use. It grabs a lot of ink and have a lot of needles. Definitely avoid this needle. We demonstrate this one, and then you'll see the result after we're done with this one. Well, this is not a sheet of paper. This is actually a synthetic skin that acts like human skin when we do tattoo on it. So I'm gonna demonstrate on that synthetic skin and show you the result of the roller machine that you don't want your artist to use on your head. So roller machine will cause stain. It'll make your head look like a shoe polish. We'll show you how they work with it and how it doesn't look natural when you look very closely. So I'm going to start right now with this machine. I'm going to dip it in the ink and roll it like I'm rolling it on your head. This is the roller machine, and what's going to happen is I'm going to dip it in a lot of ink, and after I dip it in a lot of ink, I can cover a very big area with it, and I'm just going to roll it like this, back and forth. The problem with this, it's very organized. Your human hair doesn't grow very organized, and when I clean it, it would look like you got a row, very artificial row of hair. Your hair doesn't grow very organized like that. Sometimes when the artists go back and forth with this machine, what it does is it creates big holes, and we'll show you a picture of people that had done scalp pigmentation with the roller machine. As you can see, there's row of hair, and you don't want your hair to look like tracks, and that's what the roller machine causes. And plus the ink expands because you don't really have the feeling when you go with a roller machine. So this is the demonstration of a machine that you don't want the artist to use on you. Stay away from this machine. As you can see, this is a very aggressive machine. This is a machine designed to work for big tattoos. They're not designed to work with scalp pigmentation, a delicate work. It's a thicker needle than the actual needle we use for scalp pigmentation. It's an aggressive machine. It can go really deep, and it can cause the ink to spread. It will leave stain in your head, and we'll show you a picture of people that had done scalp pigmentation with this machine. So I'm going to start. The noise of the machine will, as you can see, it's pretty aggressive machine. I'm dipping the machine here and doing it here. It's very hard for tattoo artists to control this machine. And a tattoo artist that have to work 7 hours with this machine will get tired because the weight of the machine also. As you can see, those holes is much more deeper than I want them to, and much more wider. And what's going to happen in the healing process, will expand and it'll look like a stain. And this is the next machine that permanent makeup tattoo artists use to do eyebrows and to do all kind of work on the face. It's have a lot of needles, and I showed that needle in the past, that have multiple needles next to each other. And the problem with this machine is it doesn't look natural when you're trying to create hair with it. You know, it might look good for a solid eyebrow, but it doesn't look good for single hair. And I'm going to demonstrate this machine on the skin, the synthetic skin, who acts like human skin, the result of this one. So let me start working with this machine. I dip it in ink. It takes a lot of ink, more than I want for hair scalp pigmentation. And after I dip it, I'm gonna work here on the skin. Now that I'm going to clean it, I want you to look closely and see that it makes the hair look like in a row. It's look unnatural. So I'm going to clean the skin. If you look closely, you're going to see that the hair is in a row. And that's what you don't want your hair to look like. It's unnatural. Hair usually goes in different direction. It doesn't go in rows. So I would definitely avoid a machine that permanent makeup tattoo artists use. Well, this is how scalp pigmentation should look like at the end of the day. He took about 7 hours to do the top of his head, and we did it with a single needle, with the right ink, very small needle. It's a tedious job, but it's worth it because it is someone's head and it's got to look right. We use the right machine, the right needle, and the right ink. And if you can focus close enough on his head, you can see there's no blushes, there's no spots. We made it actually look like a real human hair growing on top of his head. And that's what he paid for, and that's what he deserved. A good scalp pigmentation. not a fast 2-hour work with a roller or using a tattoo machine that's faster and deeper, and it will create a stain, as you can see on the old picture that I show you on other customer that had a bad scalp pigmentation by permanent makeup people or a tattoo artist.